What's up, guys? My name is Solid Grind, and today we will actually be reviewing the Black Velvet blended Canadian whiskey, which, if you don't know, I'm an avid whiskey enthusiast, and oh yeah, it's recording, it's for sure. But I don't drink whiskey in the sense that I drink whiskey, if you know what I mean. If you're expecting this video to be me drinking it out of the ball like this, or out of a glass that's fancy, and just tasting the whiskey itself, you're on the wrong channel. Because here on the Suicide Grind channel, we like to commit a little bit of blasphemy, like Blasphemian by Infant Annihilator. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to do a test that I, myself, will conduct on different whiskeys as we go. And I don't think I'll be able to do this consistently, because, as you know, alcohol is very expensive, it's not very cheap. So with that said, I'm not going to buy it very often, but we're gonna call this the Whiskey and Coke experiment. And now that I think about it, I probably didn't need to mention the fact that I'm not gonna review this in the tests of that, but I'm just starting you guys off so the people that actually watch my channel will have an idea of what the fuck I'm doing, and you won't be like, you know. I'm gonna pause the video, however, and I'll come back when my glass is clean. So now that we have a glass that doesn't look like it's been used for 5 years, let's actually conduct this review. And however, although I will not be reviewing the taste out of the bottle, I will be reviewing the smell out of the bottle, because whiskey smell pretty important in my book. So let's see what kind of smells we get right away. I'm actually turning off my fan for this one. There's not really any strong smells. There's some alcohols that when you open them, the entire room just smells like it. So let's see here. Oh wow. So if you don't know, this one is supposedly supposed to have a taste of apricot, orange, and vanilla. I didn't read too much into that, but that's at least what I've read. And I smell it a little bit, but it really just it smells like liquor. Like heavy liquor, because it is a 40% whiskey. Almost said vodka, because I'm very used to 40% being on vodka bottles. It's a very common thing. However, am I still rolling? You know, sometimes I've started talking and I'm not even like rolling, and then I started drinking. So let's conduct how much will I actually have in the glass. That's a good one, probably. How much I usually have is of my Jack Daniels, which I will review in the future with the Coke and whiskey tests. Whenever I get Jack Daniels next time, I will do that and tell you guys everything about it, how I feel about the flavor. Even though I've had it before, it's not necessarily important that these videos are first impressions, more so than it's important that they're actually me reviewing. So here we go. Let's get a nice little pour here. Okay, it does have that little anal kind of pour, and I usually have about that much. I will be considerate with this whiskey. Oh wow. The first whiff I got of the whiskey actually in the glass smelled a lot like the fruits like the apricot and orange, I could really smell it in the first, but then the alcohol just started overpowering it, which is okay. I'm not used to smelling alcohol though, so I'm not really a smeller. I can't really tell the nuance difference, but I can tell you it doesn't. You sometimes can get a whiff of the sweetness, but reality is whenever a whiskey says it's gonna be sweet, you're not getting a candy bar, you're not getting a glass of Coke, you're getting whiskey, you're getting hard fucking liquor, you're not gonna get Sprite, it's not gonna taste like you just took a spoonful of sugar in your mouth. By a sweet whiskey, they mean that there's some fruits in the mix, which have the sweet essence, which really just means that there are some undertone flavors that really kick you in the nuts that might come off as like, oh, this is a sweet whiskey, and oh, this is a sour whiskey. Is that even a thing? I don't know. If you know a sour whiskey, tell me in the comments. I might see if it's available in Sweden, because I like sour things, so if there's a sour whiskey, I want to try it. So leave that in the comments if you're old enough to know that, or young and still know it somehow because you break the law like I did in 2016 when I started drinking. But that's very irrelevant, because now we're going to test the taste of this first conducted on the Zeus Grind channel, the official start of the Whiskey and Coke test procedure thing. So here goes the Black Velvet, imported from Canada, blended whiskey with Coke. How bad is it? How good is it? I know I like Jack Daniels like this. Let's smell it. With Jack Daniels, it's the same alcohol percentage, and usually I could smell, but it's not really strong in this time. And I've used the same amounts with Jack Daniels, so let's just get into it. Okay. I'll just have a couple more sips to really get the flavor. Okay, so if you're like me, you don't like mixing. You don't like just pouring these bottles straight into your mouth because the alcohol is just too overpowering for you and you puke immediately because you're a little bitch when it comes to drinking, and you like actually mixing it with stuff when it comes to whiskey. A little dime bag for you. This is a softer tasting one, and by that I mean it's not as smoky as, let's say, a Jack Daniels. I actually have the biggest bottle of Jack Daniels here. As you can see, I'm not bullshitting you that I've drank Jack Daniels before. Finished this one all by myself in like 2-3 weeks maybe, because I drank for a lot of weeks. And these are very smoky. Jack Daniels are like known for being smoky, so that's alright. But I definitely saved those first ones because, you know, it's like memories attached. But this one is less smoky, which it did advertise itself as a less smoky whiskey. So it definitely gets a 10 out of 10 for advertising. Let's see a little here. I don't really get the orange at all, but there is a fruity flavor in there. It's very light fruity flavor. It's still pretty much pure alcohol at this point. to really get the flavor, I don't know, you would probably have to buy another whiskey, honestly, because this whiskey doesn't have a strong essence in the flavor department. It's more a light whiskey that you can do what I did, mix with Coke and just have a couple whiskey and Coke drinks. But it's a very fine whiskey in that sense that it tastes good. It tastes really good. I'm just saying, the way it advertised the smokiness, it was super accurate. It's not smoky at all, but unless you take a big heavy chug, which if you're like me, you're not gonna do that out of the bottle. You're just gonna have a little sip, very small sip probably, and you know, you don't really get that much fruity flavor. So the fruit flavor could be stronger, in my opinion. That would be a positive. And I won't say I like this as much as the Jack Daniels. I definitely don't. I can tell you that right away. And I love Jack Daniels. I'll tell you that. You'll find out how much I love that one in the next review I make, hopefully being Jack Daniels, unless I found another cheap whiskey. Because this one was cheap for the small bottle, but the big bottle is still like $20, yeah. Which, in the whiskey world, I guess could be considered cheap, because some of those fuckers go for like $100, like even $400. Like, there's even $1,000 whiskeys, and honestly, when we come to those, that's irrelevant for me. You know, those are too expensive. But if I didn't try the Jack Daniels before this one, I would still say, God damn, you know, God damn. I can say God. This whiskey makes me go, God damn, because it just mixes in, like, here's for people who like Coke and whiskey. This one is a perfect dream for this. If you just use like the same amount I use, you can use a more amount. Like, I used about this amount. If you use like that amount, it will be like a strong punch of the fucking alcohol punching you in the fucking nuts. And not only punching you in the nuts, punching you in the nuts and grabbing them and really chokeholding them and tugging on them, but while also being very gentle. I know it sounds weird. It's a weird, like, mixture of the things here, but it really likes to punch you in the nuts. But it punches you in the nuts in a considerate way. It's almost like the nut punch equivalent of a love bite. It's like passionate about the way it punches you in the nuts. Because it's not a flavor that my sister, for example, would enjoy, because she likes things that taste like a fucking Fanta when she drinks alcohol. And now I really get the smell. That's awesome. After a while you do get the smell though. You know, but it's a nice, soft flavored whiskey, not very smoky at all. It's like, I wouldn't even say it's smoky, in fact, at all. But that's because I'm so used to Jack Daniels, keep in mind. And, you know, there's tons of people who agree on the fact that Jack Daniels is just, you know. But I love Jack Daniels for the smokiness in that fact. And I know someone's gonna comment, well, if you like smokiness, you should try this, this, and that. But keep in mind, I'm not going to have whiskeys over, like, the amount a full-size whiskey bottle costs at Jack Daniels, which is about like $40 tops. So that's going to be my budget for this show. I'm not planning on buying whiskeys that are expensive. I'm planning to keep this as an affordable guide for younger people like me who's trying to be a party animal. I mean, I already fucking drink more. I'm more used to the vodka taste, just pure fucking hand sanitizer than whiskey. If I would be honest with you, I drink whiskey considerable amounts anyway, though, because Jack Daniels. As you can tell, my vision on whiskey, not vodka, is that I love Jack Daniels, and anything that doesn't taste like Jack Daniels, I might like, but I won't love it as much. However, this one, if you wanted me to give a rating, because I've been sitting and rambling about it for like 50 minutes, I'll rate this a solid 8. Solid 8 out of 10. I know, after all I've said, you wouldn't really expect me to do that. It wouldn't, like, the reason it's not a 7 is because it's like a little fun little fucking treat for your nuts, as I said. It's like a treat. It's a charming little boy, if you're gay, or a charming slender girl if you're a manly man that only cares about women, unlike me. You know, it's a petite whiskey in the sense that it's really, you know, it's the woman's whiskey. It's not like, here's the nice tasting whiskey. Essentially. You would maybe gift this to your girlfriend because, you know, it's soft and it's definitely deserving of an 8. But that's gonna be it. So, lastly, I highly recommend you get the Black Velvet blended Canadian whiskey. And yeah, that's it for this video. You've been watching Solid Grind, and you know what's up? You know the motto, I mean, stay cute.